Alright, we're back with another video here. I'm going to go through another video of learning how to play guitar and the many ways you can go about learning how to play guitar. We'll get some exercising in here, and as I do some exercising, I will do some explaining along the way. So, I had the same question when I first started learning how to play guitar. How do you learn to play guitar? And that is a question that can be answered simply, but also has a very difficult explanation to it. So learning how to play guitar and stuff is kind of endless. There's always something new you can learn how to play on guitar. There may be beginners out there, very much beginners that have never even touched a guitar, intermediates out there that know how to play a little guitar, that don't know everything about it, but they're still working on learning it. There may be experienced players out there that really know how to play guitar, but they're always still learning. So I would say that learning how to play guitar is an endless thing. Now, so when it comes to learning how to play guitar, I would say the first thing you should probably do is set yourself up some goals. What are you wanting to learn? Are you wanting to learn a particular song? Are you wanting to know how to make a great sound out of a guitar that you have, like this one here? Maybe a different guitar, maybe even be a piano or whatnot. Well, like I said, there's many ways of doing it. When I first started and stuff, I think I started with guitar tricks. I wasn't getting very far with that. I asked a friend of mine, how do I learn how to play guitar? And they simply told me to start doing this. I said, after I did that once or twice or whatnot, and I wasn't doing it this fast, obviously I was doing it really slowly. So I was like, well, okay, so if I can do this and stuff, this isn't really making any music and stuff. I want to get to where I can play music. I can tell you right now and stuff, unless you have the ability to teach your body, your hands, your mind, all that sort of stuff, how to do something in under 5 seconds, then the answer is going to be, it's just going to be a slow learning process. I don't know anybody that can pick up anything and learn it right off the bat. There are some people that can, but even to be able to be good at it and stuff, it still takes practice. And what comes to mind is like maybe Beethoven, playing piano. Didn't really have any instructors and stuff. He just basically picked it up. But even when he did pick it up, he still practiced and played a lot and stuff to play what he wanted to play. And I don't know the full history on Beethoven and stuff. It's been a while since I've looked into any information on that. But yeah, a friend of mine just told me to start doing this. What I just showed you there. So I was asking myself, well, why am I doing this? So this right here, is it teaching you anything? Well, if you break it down, yes, it is teaching you a couple things. And you may not be able to see it very well because of the watermark on the screen. So this is kind of what I can do right here to get over that watermark there. But simply all I'm doing is stuff is I got my 4 fingers right here on the first 4 frets of the guitar. If you don't know what the frets are, the strings are, whatnot and stuff, I've got other YouTube videos out there that explain all that stuff. Or you can look it up yourself. We'll try to get to that later on. But what is this doing right here? Well, first of all, with our fingers and stuff, we have a specific shape my hands are kind of in this sort of shape right here on a guitar, trying to show pretty much every angle there is and stuff, because when I bring my hands around like this and stuff, that's what it is. A lot of people and stuff may not be able to do that shape right off the bat, and if they can't and stuff, then that's the first exercise you're learning, because this right here is the fundamentals of being able to do anything on the guitar. And this hand shape will change based on what you're playing. If you're playing something like this right here, and like I said, I'm trying to show you the best I can, or this shape right here and stuff, your hand positioning and stuff may change a little bit. So you're currently right now teaching this hand specifically different shapes on the guitar. For example, turn that down just a hair. Okay, that may have been a little loud, sorry. Maybe that's better. So you're literally teaching this hand right here in memory, muscle memory, whatnot and stuff, these shapes. Okay, so when you're playing this right here, you're simply teaching each finger a new muscle memory, and repeatedly doing this over and over is consistently, hey, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is this. So what would this be used for? Well, to start off with, we'll move on to the next part here. If you know the notes of music and you're trying to learn the notes on a guitar, and see, there's another thing right here. We've got another hand back here doing something else. I'll try to show you the best I can. So this hand right here is so we're teaching this hand and stuff how to pluck strings or whatnot and stuff. When I first started, my biggest issue was I was losing my pick. I had a pick more like this right here, and when I would play individual strings, I wouldn't have so much of a problem. Now this is a stiffer pick, but I wouldn't have so much of a problem. It was when I was playing chords. For example, if I'd sit there and played, the pick would start vibrating so much back and forth in the strings, it would start slowly slipping out of my fingers to where all I had left was that right there I was holding. It took me a while to get to the point to where I could sit there and keep the pick in my hand and play where I wouldn't lose the pick. The pick would be in the same spot. So what you're teaching yourself on this hand right here is simply how to pick the strings at the tip of the pick. That's going to take a little bit to get used to. I know it took me a couple weeks. Now there's such thing as aggressive picking and stuff where you're grabbing the string and stuff and you're really pressing on it to try to get that sound. So here's another thing you're teaching yourself on how to play guitar. When you push down on the string and stuff, you ain't got to push directly straight down. You can go at an angle. So pushing down a little bit and then coming away from the guitar with your hand. You ain't got to have a whole lot of pressure on it. Just get used to that and stuff, and just figure out how much pressure you actually need to get that string right there to make a sound. How much of the pick do you need? You need the very tip of it right there. Just getting used to doing that right there. Eventually you'll be able to go through all the strings. And when you are picking, I got the advice and stuff, when you are picking and stuff, angle the pick a little bit. So when the pick is, and I'll do the best I can to show you, when the pick is against the strings and it's going down, you can angle it a little bit. And you see how it flexes every time, back and forth, to get the strings to vibrate like you're wanting to. Like I said, that took me a little bit and stuff because the pick kept wanting to vibrate on my fingers. If you're having that problem and stuff at first, there's another option. You can either get a pick with some grip on it, And let's see, you probably can't see that very well, but this one does have a little bit of grip on it. You might be able to see it there a little bit. It's got indentations on it for a little bit of grip. This one right here is another one. It has some indentation on it, stuff for grip. But this pick right here is also flexible. So this is the tip right here where I'm going to hit the strings at. And you can see I can flex that pick back and forth. Where this pick, I cannot. After I learned that there was different types of picks you can use for picking the guitar, I went out and got this pick. And I tried it out. I'm able to hold on to the pick a little bit better because it's got some grip on it. The pick is flexible, so it gives when it hits those strings. Now, I didn't mind that one too bad. I actually liked it and stuff for a while, and I used it for quite a while because it was flexible. It wouldn't vibrate around my fingers too much. But when it came to picking individual strings, sometimes it would end up letting off the string a little too soon, and it wouldn't make a solid sound. Now, I've been playing for about a year and stuff, so this right here, I can get this to work. I have several picks and stuff. It doesn't hurt to have several picks. Even, in fact, keep one in your pocket with your keys at all times. That way, if you end up going somewhere and you decide you want to stop at a music store and test out some guitars, you have a pick in your fingers or in your pocket or wherever to where you can try out a guitar. You don't have to use your fingers. But that's another thing too. You want to learn how to play guitar? Maybe you want to use your fingers to learn how to play guitar. Now, I'm not very good at picking with my fingers yet, but that is another way you're going to teach yourself how to play. So I'm doing this right here. And the way you can learn this stuff is simply by picking up your guitar currently. Just pick it up right now. If you're in your bed, if you're in a chair, wherever you are and stuff, get your fingers in this shape right here and get used to holding the strings down. No fingers on first, and then your first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and then go down to the next string. There's another technique right there. So this hand is on the first string right here, and we're using this hand to pluck that first string. We're going down to the next string right there. How many people need to look at where their fingers are and where this hand is right here on which string it is? Are you going down too many strings? And we're not making any sound. I got these fingers right here in the right spot on the second string, but we're not making any sound. So the first part about learning to play guitar and stuff is to get your muscle memory, your hands, to start coordinating with each other. Now, I don't really mention eyesight and stuff. Yes, you can use eyesight, but there are people out there that have disabilities, and it could be a number of disabilities, whether it be blindness or deaf or whatnot and stuff. And when they go to play a guitar, and I'll give you a good example, Ray Charles. Somebody I remembered from last night. There was a song I was watching a movie on, or I was watching a movie and I heard a song and stuff. I recognized the song. I looked up the song and I realized it was a Ray Charles song. Well, if memory serves me correctly, I believe Ray Charles was born blind. He learned how to play piano blind. He learned how to write music blind, sing blind, and perform in front of people on TV blind. And he was actually very good at it. So if he can do it blind, you might be able to do it blind as well. He learned to use his ears to teach him what the notes on the guitar were. An E, an F, a G. Because his hearing senses and stuff were stronger since he couldn't see anything. He had to use his ears to hear everything. Now, if you're deaf, that might be a little bit more difficult. But if you are deaf, and you're wanting to learn how to play guitar, you might be able to feel the vibrations off the guitar as it's laying against you. Granted, you may not be able to hear what I'm saying, but if you have caption on and stuff, that may help. But But yeah, people with disabilities have every bit of chance of learning how to play guitar as anybody else does, or even piano or anything else. There are people out there that have had disabilities that learn how to play music even with their disabilities. So, but for anybody else and stuff, yes. So just pick up your guitar and mimic what I'm doing here. So first string open, we're just using this finger right here, and put your first finger on there. And you ain't you don't have to sit there and put your second finger on there instead. And put your third finger on there. Every time you add a finger, you're going down a fret. At this point, we're at the third fret. Pinky finger. Now there's something else you might notice as you're sitting here doing this. So I've been playing for, like I said, about a year. My finger, the skin on my fingers and stuff has gotten a lot, not stronger, but a lot thicker. I've built up calluses on my fingers. So when I'm sitting here pushing on these strings right here, the top strings are a little easier than the bottom strings are. But when I'm sitting here pushing on these strings and stuff, I'm not using a lot of force. I've gotten to where I know how much force I need to apply against the strings and stuff to get them to hit that fret. The idea is to simply get your string on your guitar, push down just enough to where it's up against that fret. Once it's up against that fret and stuff, the vibration travels from that fret to the back of your guitar here, or to the body of your guitar, and the string is vibrating all the way through there. If you're using an acoustic, it's vibrating into the hollow body of the acoustic guitar. If you're using an electric guitar, the magnets in your pickups are simply picking up those vibrations and sending a signal to whatever. Now, do you need an amp? No, not necessarily. I can sit here and turn the amp off and still play my guitar and still hear everything I'm doing. Can you hear it? Maybe not. So I do have the amp, I do have it on, so that way I know that anybody watching these videos and stuff can hear what I'm doing as well, because it's louder. So right now we're teaching this hand how to position itself on these boards, and we're teaching this. Now, is there a faster way of doing this? Not that I'm aware of. In fact, I'm pretty sure most people will tell you they used one of many different sources to learn how to play guitar. Before the internet was out and stuff, it was pretty much either playing the sounds and getting used to the sounds and finding out what sounds went together well. Now, if you have your guitar in your hand and you're sitting there trying to mimic me, that's a good thing. If you're making mistakes, that's just fine. I made a lot of mistakes when I first started learning how to play. Most common mistake and stuff I was making was hitting the wrong string with this hand, or being in the wrong spot with this hand on the strings. So I'd be, for example, right there and stuff. So it's making a sound, but my ears can tell me right there that I'm still hitting the wrong string, either with this hand or this hand is on the wrong string. Same string I was hitting before, but this finger has changed positions. That's why the sound sounds different. So there's another thing you're teaching yourself right there. What the sound should sound like. So are we learning how to play guitar? At this point in time, yes. We are learning how to play guitar. Does this conclude learning how to play guitar? No. There is millions of different things you can do on most instruments that can contribute to learning how to play the instrument. Now, is there an ending point to it? No, there's not an ending point. There's always something you can learn. Even if we haven't discovered it yet, there's always something more you can learn how to play with whatever kind of instrument you're doing. So, but yes, this is what I started with. Now, like I said, you can sit there and mimic what I'm doing. And And this is what I literally started doing and stuff when I was first learning how to play. If you want to try farther down spot and stuff, that's fine. Up here, your fingers are going to be spread the farthest apart and stuff, so it may be a little more difficult, which is fine. You need to teach your fingers how to spread apart like that. Where down here, your fingers may be right up against each other, or mine and stuff, I do struggle down here a little bit still. But, now, the reason I'm struggling is because up here I'm using the first 4 frets. So when I play the first one, there's a sound right there, that's an E note. I play the second one, well, it's just the first fret. Now I got my fingers involved, all the way down to the 4th fret. Well, if I go down here and do the same thing, there is nothing like this down here. So I'm having to use my first finger as what this is. So if I play the open E, which is what that is, in order to play the same thing down here, that is also an E. Now, how do I know all this? I have done a lot of extensive research, a lot of studying, a lot of looking things up. I've done my homework. And I may not be 100% accurate on things, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, mistakes are part of learning. But I have done my homework. I have learned that anything you play from this point to where my finger is one way. Once you get to where my finger is down, that part right there is all mimicked by this top right here. So whatever you do up here is the same down here, from where my finger sits down. This is the 12th fret on this guitar. And the amount of frets and stuff may vary depending on the guitar. Or you may not even have frets on your guitar, which can be a completely different learning experience, especially on maybe some basses or whatever kind of instrument you're using. So you just, like I said, go back to mimicking. Now you may be saying that your fingers are starting to hurt right here, especially if you just picked up your guitar. That's perfectly normal. Your fingers may hurt if you haven't ever played guitar before. You got what's called soft skin right there, and that soft skin being pushed up against these strings and stuff is creating pressure, which is pushing against the skin and hitting the nerve or the bone or the muscle or whatever. That is a common thing. It takes about 1 to 3 weeks for that to go away. What you're looking to try to do is build up a callus on your fingertips. A callus is pretty much a thicker piece of skin on your finger that heals up and over time and stuff to make it to where your fingertips, when you press and against these, the skin's so thick or strong or whatnot, however you would describe a callus, that when you push down, you don't even feel it no more. Well, you do, but you don't. You don't feel the pain, but you still feel the strength. So yes, even when you get calluses built up on your fingertips, you're still going to feel these strings. You're just not going to feel the pain anymore, because the skin is actually spreading out the pressure on your fingertips to where it's not centered on a specific spot. So there's another thing we're teaching ourselves. So at this point in time, just doing this little thing right here, we're teaching this hand right here muscle memory, where to go, when to go, how to go. We're teaching this hand right here which string to hit, when to hit it, how to hit it. We're also teaching ourselves and stuff how to do these things. The more you do this, if you spend, say, an hour today doing it, an hour tomorrow doing it, an hour the next day doing it. Hold up, you mean I have to do this every day? Yes, it's a daily exercise. Doing something like this is a daily exercise. If you're to the point to where you're learning a song, then playing the song on a daily basis and stuff, yes, that's a daily exercise because you're trying to get better at playing the song. And then if you want to add lyrics to it, which is where I'm currently at, trying to add lyrics to some of my songs, I'm trying to do that. I know how to play the song on guitar, at least I'm pretty well familiar with it. I'm pretty much an intermediate skilled player on it. But adding lyrics to it is making it so that I'm playing one tempo or one speed on my guitar while I'm trying to sing or add the lyrics to it at another speed. So we're doing this. Like I said, if you want to, if you get bored of sitting here just going back and forth like this, Get bored of doing that, you can slide down to the next one. Now at this point in time and stuff, you're learning something different. Pay attention here. Okay, if you can spot the difference, that's great. If you can't, here's what the difference is. On the top, we're playing 5 notes per string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 notes. Going down through 6 strings. That's 30 notes. From right here, we're not. We're playing only 4 notes per string. 6 strings is 24 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The difference here is, up here, we have this right here, which gives us our first note, the E, then the F, then the G. If you're wanting to learn the notes, that's another part of learning the guitar. Learning the notes of the guitar. Where are all the notes at? Well, that's part of it. I've got videos out there explaining where all the notes are. I've got charts on videos and stuff showing you where all the notes are. But right here, A, B, C. I missed one right there. I didn't actually miss a note. It's just an in-between note. So if I was to do it properly, it'd be A sharp, B, C. 4 notes, 6 strings, 24 notes. Now, is this always going to be an A sharp? That's why I skipped it, because it's not. It's not always going to be an A sharp. Is this always going to be an A? With the way my guitar is tuned, yes, it will always be an A. This a B, this a C. So there's another thing we're learning right there. What I mean by that, you see my fingers right there. I'm only using 3 fingers, not 4. This finger's not on there. So there's another exercise. Keeping that middle finger down, or off the fretboard, and still being able to play these notes right here. Getting your fingers to work independently is a muscle memory, and it took me a while, because my 2 middle fingers right here, they wanted to come down simultaneously, or even trying to get my 4 fingers to split apart for these farther strings right here was another muscle memory. So building up the muscle in your fingers, building up the skin, building up the memory, there's 3 different things right there that you're starting off with and stuff that has a lot to do with learning how to play guitar. What does this do for you? Well, so, and is that a song? No, it's just something I'm making up. But have I learned how to play guitar? If you think about it, yes, I've learned how to play guitar. Have I learned everything about the guitar? No. Have I learned everything about music? No. Have I learned how to play this thing completely? No. And I never will. It's going to be an ongoing thing for the rest of my life. Have I learned how to play the guitar? Yeah. So it's a back and forth thing. How good you want to be just depends on yourself. So there's our next point. If you want to learn how to play guitar, I would suggest setting yourself some goals. Long-term goals and short-term goals. What is it you want to learn? Do you want to learn a specific song? Do you want to learn how to shred? Do you want to learn how to play your own music? Do you want to just enjoy your guitar? So, goals. Okay, now, you've got your guitar and stuff. I suggest picking it up every day. Now, today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that and stuff may be easy to do it because it's a brand new guitar, it's something new to you, you want to learn how to play it. 2 months from now, are you still going to be picking up your guitar every day? I hope so. I do. It's been a year and I'm still picking up my guitar every day, even if it is just to do something as simple as this. If you're not picking up your guitar every day after 3 months, after 6 months, after a year, then I would say you really didn't want to learn how to play guitar. You maybe thought you did and stuff, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I have nothing against anybody deciding, okay, well, guitar wasn't actually for me. But if it's because of a struggling issue, that can be fixed. If you still want to, a year later, if you're still wanting to learn how to play guitar and stuff, but you keep struggling with something over and over and over, I suggest there are so many things you can do on this point in time. You can watch YouTube videos, get inspiration off of other people playing guitar. I want to be able to do that right there, but I can't do it yet. Well, that's fine. I can't do a lot of things either. I can't sit here and play shred or play signature licks or let's see here. So, for example, I got this is another thing I do suggest. I'm looking at a piece of paper right here with a list of songs on it. This top part right here are songs that I've learned over a year. This stuff right here, I've learned a little bit of it, but this is my longer list of songs that I haven't learned that I still want to learn. Is it overwhelming? Yeah. I don't let it get to me though. I will get to them eventually. I've got a little bit of each one of those songs learned. It's going to take me a while to get through all those songs. I spend every bit of free time I have playing my guitar and trying to get better. I may even hear another song and stuff later today on a movie I'm watching and stuff and decide, you know what, I wouldn't mind trying that out. For example, so a song that I heard yesterday on the TV, let's see if I can remember how it was done. I got like 3 of them actually I heard on TV. Let's see if I can remember how it was done. No, I'm not going to be able to remember how it's done. So, there's something for you. Okay? You see me struggling with this right now here. The song is called Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles. This is a song I heard on a movie last night and stuff I watched. After the movie was over and stuff, or while the movie was playing, I wrote down the name of the song because I remembered what the name of it was. When the movie was over, I got on my computer here, looked up the song, found out it was by Ray Charles. The first thing I did and stuff was in Google search and stuff, another source I'm using, Ultimate Guitar. Ultimate Guitar has tablature. If you know how to read tablature, that can make this a little bit easier to learn how to play. If you don't know how to read tablature, that's perfectly fine. I've got videos out there to teach you how to read tablature, and I'm sure there's other people that have videos or whatnot of sources to teach you how to read tablature. So I looked it up on Ultimate Guitar, and Ultimate Guitar does have a tablature for Hit the Road Jack. So I looked it up and everything. I was reading the music and stuff. In fact, let's see if I can remember it. I probably can't. I may have to type it up here real quick. Sorry. Give me just a second. Yep, right there it is. But there's another source right there. So if I'm not sure how well my video is coming through and stuff, since I got this screen up right now. But there's another source. So even if you don't know how to read tablature, you can possibly find somebody else that has either played it or learned to play it. Now, I do suggest using caution on this. So if you find somebody else that has learned to play Hit the Road Jack or whatnot and stuff, and it's not tablature, you're just kind of mimicking what they're doing, kind of like what you're doing with me here. And while you're sitting here watching this video and stuff, you can continuously just sit there and I could sit here and do this and sit here and talk to you. It's a great way, that is another great exercise. It's a great way to distract yourself and get your fingers to know what they're supposed to do. Kind of like operating a car. If you're operating a car and stuff, you hit the gas, you hit the brake, you steer the wheel and stuff. How often are you really paying attention to what your feet or what your hands are doing? Not too often. Most of the time you're sitting there focused on what's going on the road, what's going on in front of you, behind you, beside you, whatnot, stuff to make sure you're staying in your lane, you're not going to hit anybody else, nobody else is going to hit you, make sure you're going in the right direction, going in the right place, sort of stuff, so you ain't worried about what your feet are doing. Well, this is the same way. When you're sitting here doing this, and I can sit here and talk, or listen, or watch a video, I'm also sitting here training my ears, trying to listen to what they're saying, at the same time trying to listen to what I'm saying at the same time. So if I make a mistake, hopefully I catch it, but whether I make a mistake or not and stuff, I'm sitting here using my fingers and stuff to continuously do this. And I do it really fast, and I'm making all kinds of mistakes, which is perfectly fine. In fact, I think in some of my videos, I'm going to start trying to work on doing that. I found a few other techniques to use to improve my guitar playing. So if I'm making a video and stuff, I may start sitting here trying to exercise and practice and stuff to get my fingers used to what they're doing while I'm sitting here making these videos. It's an idea of focusing on two different things at the same time. If you're not used to it, or if you are used to it, your fingers are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing while you're saying whatever you're thinking about saying. So anybody out there that's making videos and stuff of their current guitar progress, this can be your first challenge right here. Sit there and play this scale, well, not really a scale, but play this back and forth like this while you're sitting here talking to your audience about whatever it is you're doing. And if you can't do this yet, I would say you still have some work to do. I can't do it greatly, so yes, I would say I still have work to do. By the way, I'm not a teacher. I'm just trying to help and inspire. But anyways, so yes, I looked up the tablature for Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles. Again, I use Ultimate Guitar. That's one of my sources for learning. One of them. I've got many. Found out it's an A minor chord, a G chord, an F chord, and an E7 chord. That may be foreign language to some people. That's perfectly fine. You can use Google. You can type up what these chords are. You can go to Ultimate Guitar, see these chords, because it shows how to play these chords if you know how to read tablature. It even gives you a strumming pattern, a beats per minute sort of thing, and the lyrics to go with it. Now this may be, for me, this is a challenge for me because I'm still working on learning how to play the guitar and talk or sing at the same time. Now, am I playing it right? No, I'm not playing it right. Okay, that would be a completely different thing. And this is one of the challenges that I am working on learning. So, have I learned how to play guitar yet? Yes. Have I learned how to do this yet? No. So, have I fully learned how to play guitar yet? No, because I can't sit here and play my guitar and do this right here because my focus is being stretched too far. I'm sitting here thinking about what I'm singing while trying to sit there and play the song or whatnot. Whether I'm singing the song, which there you go right there. Singing and playing at the same time. It's just as challenging to do that as what it is I'm doing right now because I do not have the song memorized. And whether even I have it memorized or not, I can't focus on what I'm playing if I'm trying to focus on what the lyrics to the song are. Especially if I'm trying to get the timing done right. I need to hit this note at this time when I sing this part. So can I sit here and play and sing at the same time? No, not yet. But in fact, right now I'm not even using the right tempo. So there's another source for you. I would have to go to YouTube, type in the search engine, Hit the Road Jack, pull up the YouTube video for the music and stuff, and you'll find and stuff. You got the one I was watching and stuff was Ray Charles at the computer, or not, sorry, Ray Charles at the piano with his glasses on like normal. I've only ever seen him with his glasses on. I've never seen him in real life either. So, and then he's got three girls right there at a mic. Three girls are singing for the most part most of the song and stuff, and he's got some parts he sings in here as well, and then they kind of combine back and forth or whatnot. But that's pretty much how the song is played. Let me close this down real quick. Get this back over here. So yes, there's another part. So we are currently learning that there is so many things you're going to have to work on over a period of time. Now, how fast will you get this down? Well, that just depends. I sit here and spend, like I said, every bit of free time I can sitting here playing my guitar, trying to add words to it, trying to add lyrics to it. I'm not really focused so much on how well my voice sounds as much as I am about playing the song properly and getting my voice in there. Now that's something else I want to add because that's something I figured out that I'm going to start doing. As I'm trying to sit here and play these songs, and like I said, I can't play that one yet. Let's find another one I can play here real quick. I guess we'll go with this one. I haven't gotten any lyrics down for this yet because I haven't studied it enough. Again, a year of playing and stuff, and this is where I've gotten to. It's probably going to take me another year, maybe two, to get to where I can play these songs and sing them at the same time. Here, let me add an amp to it so you can hear it better. So there's another thing we're doing. Okay, so besides just playing what I'm playing, and like I said, if you got your guitar in hand and you're trying to mimic what I'm doing, that's perfectly fine. That's how you learn how to play. In fact, if you go to an instructor, that's another option to learn how to play. Go to your local music store. Talk to somebody in there. Hey, do you guys have instructors on learning how to play guitar, whatnot, and stuff? And that opens up another huge door for you. Plus, they do have books on tablature. I'm sure they even have books on teaching you how to read tablature. So you got the instructor there, you got the books there, you got other people there. All forms of ways and stuff. You got you learning how to play guitar. So I am literally filling your mind up with different options on how to learn how to play guitar. Plus inspiring you to pick it up on a daily basis. Now, will some of these methods cost money? Yes. Will others cost money? No. So the way I've been learning and stuff, when I started and stuff, like I said, I started with Guitar Tricks. I believe that was $15 a month. I gave that up. And went through a different route. It wasn't a money issue so much at that point in time as it was just the idea that I just didn't think I was progressing very well with that method. I tried instructors. I think I spent a grand total of $80 for 4 lessons throughout the month, and I plan on going back to that, but I just don't have the money for it right now. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue doing this way to getting better and stuff, and eventually when I can, I'll go to an instructor and maybe they can help improve my techniques or teach me something that I would like to learn or whatever. I do also caution restraint on that as well. If you're going to go to an instructor and learn how to play music from an instructor, the first thing I would suggest doing is meeting with the instructor first. I wouldn't pay for anything up front. What you need to know as far as an instructor is concerned, because I don't know how any of the music stores out there go about finding instructors on learning how to play or whatnot, but you don't want to run into the idea that you're paying for something that you're not going to use. So a lot of the music stores out here and stuff provide a weekly amounts to where you can pay $20 or $25 or whatever it may cost and stuff for this certain specific instructor for a half hour or an hour or whatever it may cost on this specific day. You get in there and stuff, you come to find out that the instructor you're using and stuff is not somebody you're going to be able to get along with very well. When you get in there and stuff, he wants to teach you how to play classical guitar. Or he learned how to play by ear and stuff, and so the methods he is using and stuff is simply by ear. And maybe he's never even heard of a song you want to learn how to play. Let's say like you want to learn to play something from Metallica. Okay, that's a very common band, but this person here, he's never heard of Metallica. So I would definitely suggest talking to the person first. Ask the instructor if you can get an email address or a phone number for the guy to be able to reach out to the guy and say, hey, before I start paying for lessons through you and stuff, can we meet up somewhere? I'll buy you lunch or whatnot. I would like to learn how to play guitar and stuff, but I want to get to know you, see what you know, and see if you can actually help me out, if I need to find somebody else and stuff that can help me out. Because I have had a couple instructors that they could teach me how to play songs, but they couldn't teach me what I wanted to learn. And I wasn't even sure at that point in time and stuff really what I was wanting to learn. So yeah, also put yourself a list of things together and stuff on what you would like to learn how to play. I'm not going to name any specific names and stuff. I just know that I've had some instructors before and stuff that when I went in there to learn how to play and stuff, I paid for it and everything, but I they couldn't really teach me stuff that I was wanting to learn. And it's the same thing can go with the band and stuff. When you get with a band, if you ever end up getting with a band, and you've gotten to where you can play and stuff, you find out that when you guys are all playing together and stuff, you're not really harmonizing together because maybe one person's playing a wrong key, or their instrument's out of tune because they never tuned it up, or they got bad strings, or whatever the reason. You're going to have to learn to work together, get to know each other, help each other out as much as possible. If it's not going to work, then you're going to have to find another path to take. If it's going to work, then great. So, I mean, don't let an obstacle get in your way of reaching your goals. There's literally thousands of people out there that have played in bands and have gotten over their obstacles. I can promise you, they've had obstacles in their life as well, and they've gotten past them. Whether it was people discouraging them, people telling them they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. In today's world, we don't really say we can't do this or we can't do that. We morally try to say, and I like this saying more, it hasn't been done yet. Meaning that it's still a possibility. Anything is always possible. So, at this point in time, we've got the idea of using an instructor, mimicking somebody else on YouTube. Be careful with that, though, because like I said, if they're not doing it right and stuff, then you're going to pick up a bad habit. Using tablature, you can try to learn off of ear. So I told you about the whole Hit the Road Jack. We'll use another song and stuff just so I'm not using the same old song over and over again. How about Mr. Jones and Me by the Counting Crows? So I pull up the YouTube on Mr. Jones and Me, or I get Siri to pull it up on the Siri box or whatnot and stuff, and get it to repeat consistently or whatnot, or wherever and stuff, and I start listening to it and everything. Well, that song is pretty much strictly all chords throughout the entire song. There may be some solo parts in there too. I haven't really paid attention to that. But what you can simply try to do is try to find those chords. So at this point in time, you're training your ear, listening for the sound. Okay, I hear that. What note is that? Okay, there it is right there. Something like that. You hear that and stuff, and it sounds very close. Okay, so you got that note right there. What's the next note right there? There it is right there. So you found both notes, sort of thing. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be that quick. My ears are not well trained enough and stuff to be able to listen to something and pick it up that quick. But if you didn't have a whole lot of money before the internet was out, that was pretty much your option. You had to listen to the music over and over and over until you pretty much destroyed the cassette or the CD and stuff because you listened to it so many times. And you just kept listening to it and stuff and playing it over and over. We still have that same method and stuff, but you're not going to have to go out and buy a CD or destroy a CD. You might have to go out and you can use your phone and stuff, sit there and play it, repeat over and over and stuff until you get the parts down. Nope. Sort of thing. Now, yeah, it's another song and stuff that I haven't fully learned yet. It's on my longer list, not my shorter list, but you get the idea of that. So, again, you have tablature, you have mimicking somebody else, you have instructors, you have trying to learn it by ear, which is a really great method and stuff, because so the learning it by ear part, if you can get your ears to recognize the sounds that you're hearing, you'll be able to play anything. There are people that have studied that method for years. And after a few years and stuff, they've gotten really good at it to where they can sit there and listen to something and within 60 seconds know right how to play it. Sort of thing. I'm not that good at it. Again, I've only been doing this for about a year and stuff. I'm working on my ear method. I do suggest, again, though, and stuff, when you're sitting there playing your guitar, So I'm pretty sure most phones and most computers have this ability to be able to do audio recording alone, no video. And I don't suggest adding video to it, but yes, pull up an app or whatever and stuff. I got one right here and stuff. I know you probably can't see it, and that's perfectly fine. So I got a voice recorder. I'll hit the record button and stuff to start playing something on my guitar. If I want to try to add lyrics to it, I'll try to do that. When I'm done, I'll hit the stop button. I'll go back and I'll play it and listen to it in a different way. So I can sit here and play this. And then once I'm done, hit the stop button, go back and listen to it. And as I'm listening to it, I can find mistakes just by ear that I'm doing. Or if you want to sit there and do this whole part right here, where you're doing your exercises, and record yourself doing this as you're doing it. And once you get all the way pretty much through the entire guitar, maybe even you know what the notes are and stuff. I wouldn't suggest saying them out loud, but once you get through to where you're down here, sitting here playing this part right here, this right here is going to become your best method for learning by ear, probably. But I don't know. Everybody has their different ways and stuff. That's another thing right there. What is the best way of learning? Well, that's completely up to you. How do you learn the best? Do you learn by seeing? Do you learn by hearing? Do you learn by doing? So whatever your best method is, you're going to have to find it yourself. And use that to every advantage you can. Even if you have an instructor and stuff, you can still end up progressing slowly through learning to play guitar if it's not in your best learning method. But anyways, yes, so you stop the recording after you do all that and stuff, and you have this little bar right here and stuff to where you can skip through part of it, so you decide to jump to, say you know it's the entire recording is 15 minutes long, so you jump to 13:30. 13 minutes and 30 seconds into it. You hit that play button, and then you hit that pause button. What was that note you just played? Now, your recording and stuff is not divided into it, so it's not going to tell you. And as long as you didn't speak into it, you're sitting here playing these notes and stuff. You may know what they are as you're playing them, but then once you've recorded it, stopped it, jumped to 13:30 on the recording, listen to it. Can you tell yourself what that note was? Or can you go onto your guitar and, nope, that's not quite it, nope. There it is right there, that's what it was. Because you can hear it synchronized together. They harmonize together when you hit the right note. So you sit there and play it again. Yep, that's it right there. And then you can sit there and say, well, that right there would be a C sharp or a D flat. So that's what that note was when I played it. And now you just trained your ear a little bit better on how to recognize these notes. I'm going to start using that method because I think that'll be working great for me. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say yes it's going to work, no it's not going to work. I'm just offering another source out there on how to train your ears to listen to the notes and mimic the notes on guitar and keep yourself to where you can play anything once you start hearing it. So we've gone through all kinds of different methods. Learning to play by ear, tablature, mimicking somebody else, instructors, obviously and stuff. There's also exercising right here, which no matter which method you use and stuff, I suggest you exercise. If you want to learn how to play these chords, the G chord, you don't have to sit here and make the shape of it. Change chords. You want to go to a C chord, you look up what a C chord is. Now, you want to jump back and forth between chords and stuff, but you don't want to jump back and forth between websites of a C chord and a G chord. So what I've also done myself in the past, if I can find the right page for it, is I've written down what these chords are. Like I said, I'm looking for the page here real quick. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of notes. I do suggest taking notes as well. Notes will help you to remember where you were at one day to the next day. So, right there. I would write down what the chords are and stuff, write down the graph and everything, what the name of the chord was, where my fingers are supposed to be, what I'm supposed to strum as far as the strings are concerned, and then I would sit there and practice them. So, an A chord, and yes, that worked because I know what an A chord is. This is the shape it takes in your hand right here, an A chord. I know you can't see it very well, but once you learn how to play an A chord and stuff, you'll realize what it is. There's an A chord for you. When I first started learning and stuff, that took me forever to get it down. Now, here's something I also suggest doing. You play it once this way. Once you've played it that way, you hit each individual string. So you go through with the pick and stuff. This one right here does not use the E string. So you go, that sounds good. It's a little off. It sounds good. Sounds good. A little off. Sounds good. Yep, that's a little off. So you're having to readjust where your finger shape is. So you play it, hit each string. Play it again. That way it starts building up that memory of what that chord's supposed to sound like. Then switch to another chord. It's right here's a D chord. Yes, I've got this one memorized because of writing it down, practicing it, playing it, getting used to it, all that sort of stuff. This one happens to use the bottom 4 strings. 1, 2, 2. That sounds a little bit better. 3, 4. Now I'm going to go to a C. Here's a C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go to an E minor. Or an E chord, sorry, E chord. And you may be at this point in time wondering, so how do you know, or maybe not so much how do you know, but why is that called that? So why is this called an E chord? Or why is this called an A? Or a D chord? Or even, you get farther into it and stuff and it goes to maybe an A minor 7 or something like that. Why is it called that? You may be asking yourself that if you're curious like I get and stuff occasionally. So here's the final method I'm going to give you, my final source and stuff for how, and I plan on going back to this as well and stuff because I would, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of information on learning how to play guitar, play music, learn music, sing with it, sort of stuff. So, and I'm trying to take advantage of every bit of it I can and spend as much time as I can doing this. So the final method that I'm going to tell you and stuff is there are also online courses you can take. I mentioned Guitar Tricks. Yes, Guitar Tricks is an option. I started with Guitar Tricks at the beginning. I can probably go back to Guitar Tricks and use that as a method again if I wanted to, since I've advanced and see how much more I can learn that way. They may have also changed the way they're teaching and stuff since I last used it. It's been probably about 3 or 4 years and stuff since I last used Guitar Tricks, so their method may have changed. Some of these courses also have, they tend to show the notes on a music chart, which will help you learn how to read tablature. They show you where your finger's supposed to go, which strings you're supposed to hit. And I'm sure that they have finger picking exercises or whatnot stuff. But yes, online courses. So Guitar Tricks was my first one. The second one I went to, which is the one I'll probably go back to, was Justin Guitars. I'm not going to type it out or spell it out for you or anything like that, but Justin Guitars was the last one I used. Last time I went there and stuff, it was only $5 a month, which is why I'll probably go back to there because he's got a lot of sources. He does videos on how to play specific songs. I mean, that was so far the best one I've been to. Now, it may not be the best one I'll stay with. We'll just have to see down the road and stuff, but for now and stuff, that's what I'll probably end up going back to. It'll probably be next week before I get back to it, though. And I'll be spending time sitting here doing my exercising. By the way, this is not the only way to exercise. Besides just going down like this on the frets or whatnot, jumping down to this fret, go to here. There's also going this way down the strings. And what I mean by that, again, you can record yourself as you're doing this. Listen to the recording. Here's what you're going to be looking for in this. Are all the notes sounding out good? Was there a pause in between each note? Well, yeah, there was. On this particular part there was. When I did, there's the pause. Because I'm repositioning my hand four frets up. Can you make that transition without there being a pause? Yeah. Can you continuously improving that transition? Because there's times where you're going to sit here and play. And see there, right there. So I am literally taking this hand from this spot right here, transitioning it down to here. Okay, you notice that a lot of times, sometimes I'll go past this spot by mistake. The idea is to go there, directly down to here, and have your fingers in the right spot without looking at it. As well as using this hand right here to play the top 3 strings. And then when you transition down to here, I actually hit the right spot that time, that's surprising. When you transition down to here, getting this hand to hit the right string. Now, is there a speed thing and stuff, a speed goal? Not so much. Which brings me to my last thing here before I end this video. So, there's people that talk about technique. What is technique? So I don't have an actual definition of technique. And I'm going to say there's probably not a very good definition for technique when it comes to playing guitar or playing music or whatnot, because of so many different variables that are involved in technique. First off being your finger positioning here. Okay, your finger positioning. When you're sitting here playing and stuff, so when I first started playing and stuff, as you put your fingers down, your previous finger should stay where it is. The reason being is if you want to lift these 3 fingers up, so accuracy on the frets. So, example, you see my finger right there. Can you see the fret? No. If my finger was up here, can you see the fret? Yes. Let's see what the difference is. It's the same amount of pressure applied to that string, just 2 different spots. That's part of technique. Having your finger in the right spot at the right time. This is something else you're going to end up having to learn and stuff. This is why I do these exercises. Trying to teach my fingers where to go so they don't end up at the back end of the frets. See, there's right there. Now I can hear that a little bit, but it sounds a lot better right there. This pinky right here is going to be one thing that's going to keep saying, hey, I'm not good enough yet. Hey, I'm not good enough yet. Yet being the key word. Keep working on it. Yet is always a key word, because you're going to wake up one day, pick up your guitar, start playing, and holy crap, I can do that. That's awesome now. Sort of thing. I know I did. So yes, technique, accuracy being part of technique. Getting the right spots with your fingers. Okay, technique, getting the right string. So let's switch to this string right here. Okay, I'm just randomly switching to a string. I'll close my eyes here. Randomly switch to a string here. We'll go to right here. Okay, so my first finger is right there. Am I against the fret? No. You should be able to feel the fret if you're up, the fret if you're up against it. Now this hand right here needs to pluck that proper string. So I don't know which string it is, because like I said, I got my eyes closed and I'm not paying attention to exactly which string it is. Feeling the string in your finger can help you determine which string you're on. If I had to guess, I would say this one right here. How can you determine that? Lift your finger off of it. Nope, I was not on the right string. Yep, that's the string right there. Eyes are closed. I was wrong on that right off the bat. Is there a way you can determine that? Some people would say and stuff, if you hold your hand on here, this can help you determine which oh, my eyes will show you again. But holding your hand on this and stuff can sometimes help you determine which string you're on. I know that's what I was using at first and stuff, but it didn't work right off the bat. So it's something I still need to work on. But yes, I would obviously say that this hand being on the right string, with this finger being on the right string and stuff, is something I definitely need to work on. Because I notice I make that same mistake when I'm playing music. I'll also find myself and stuff accidentally hitting the strings and muting the strings with my fingers instead of the pick. So I'm sitting here playing something. Now that I don't tend to have as much problem with, but that took a while to learn. By going from, see, I just did it right there. Muted a string with my thumb because it got in the way. Because I'm not using a proper technique right there with my hand. So there's another technique and stuff. Once you get to where you can start doing this, strumming the right strings, strumming the right chords, using the right frets up here at the top, get used to a simple pattern. What I mean by that is a consistent pattern. You're singing a song and stuff, it's 50 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I seen in somebody's stream I was watching previously, somebody asked, do you play along with the metronome? Well, that's very easy to play along with the metronome. The hardest part about playing along with the metronome is having it turned up to 500 beats per minute and trying to keep up with that, because that's very fast. So you can get either a metronome out of a store. You can find an app for a metronome. Set your phone up to start playing 50 beats per minute on your phone. If that's too fast, drop it down to 25. And when it's sitting there going, or you can, I mean, so I'm gonna try to do this, but if it's sitting there going consistent like this, and my beats and stuff, because I'm using my hand, I'm not using a metronome, may not be consistent, but then you're using this hand right here. Sort of thing. And that's all it is with the metronome. And a metronome is very helpful. It can teach you how to get your timing down. Once you've gotten your accuracy to where, yeah, I can get to this point, I can get to this point, I can get to this point and stuff without even having to look at it or whatnot. As you can see and stuff, I can't just sit there and pick out a string. Say this string right here, well, no, still wrong string. This string right here, I could tell because it wasn't making the right sound and I wasn't feeling the vibration in my fingers. For someone that has a disability and not being able to see, you'll be able to feel that vibration in your finger right there when you're on the right string. Change strings, change position on the same string. Once you get to the right string and stuff, it's normally easy to change, but if you're going to jump strings from like this string all the way down to this string right here, nope, that's still not the right string. Yep, actually it was. Yeah, I got my eyes closed and stuff because I'm trying to show you and stuff. It's, even for an intermediate player and stuff, it can be kind of difficult. Getting your eyes away from what you're doing up here and down here and stuff to where you can focus on this right here, that right there, or something else and stuff, because if you go to play in front of an audience and stuff, they're not going to want to see the top of your head. They're going to want to see your eyes and your face or whatnot and stuff. Because looking down like this and stuff, yeah, people do that occasionally and stuff, but it's better to pay attention to what your audience is doing. That way you can see if your audience is having fun, enjoying the music you're playing, because you can get some really good inspiration off those audience people and stuff sitting there cheering for you, dancing, clapping, or whatnot and stuff while you're sitting here jamming away on the guitar. So yeah, that's a huge bucket full of resources, ideas, learning how to play guitar, all sorts of stuff. And if I went through any of this way too fast and stuff, rewind the video, stop it somewhere, try it again. I make a lot of these videos very repetitive, and that's because I sit here, like I said, every day in my free time, and I've got this guitar in my hand, and I'm sitting here, or yep, messed that one up. Or something else I was trying to learn yesterday was, let's see if I can do that. I'll go and turn the amp back on real quick so you can hear it better. learn that one still. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still working on that one. I thought about that last night and stuff when I was sitting there watching somebody on piano, and they were working on learning how to play Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And yes, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony can be played on guitar as well. There is a tablature for it. It's probably not going to sound the same, but yes. I have found that doing that, though, I have to learn how to finger pick. It's something I'm not familiar with. Something else I'm learning how to do on guitar. So, yes. Learning to play guitar is not a quick thing. And if anybody ever tells you, yes, I picked it up in 5 minutes and I knew how to play it instantly, I can promise you they didn't. Because I don't know of anybody out there that will ever tell you that they have learned every single thing about a guitar. I'm pretty sure anybody in the world will tell you that they are still learning. They are still finding new things to learn on the guitar. Piano possibly too, but yes. In fact, I think what I had picked up was this right here. Yeah. So yeah, you can kind of hear it, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, sort of thing. Uh, which was simply this right here. Yeah, I've kind of forgotten the tablature because I was looking at the tablature to figure it out and stuff. But yes, I don't think you can play Beethoven with a pick. I think you have to use fingers to play Beethoven. And that's because you have to hit two different strings simultaneously, but you can't hit the middle strings in between. So that is an amazing challenge, and I thought it was great that I could actually figure that one out. And so, yes, it is on my list of things to learn how to play. It's down here at the bottom because I added it down here, as well as the Addams Family, which is what I was playing previously. Which was very exciting for me and stuff because the person I was sitting there watching is like, you probably figured out how to play it before me. I said, no, because the hardest part about playing Beethoven, anything Beethoven, this is if my memory serves me correct, I believe Beethoven, when he played piano, it wasn't just about playing the notes. And for a lot of people out there that listen to Beethoven or any kind of classical music like that, they will, I'm pretty sure, not on 100% because I'm not a teacher, I'm pretty sure most of them will tell you that in order to play it well, you have to use emotion. And you can tell how somebody's playing this song by the kind of emotion that they're using. And you tell what emotional mood they're in when they play it. Which is another thing and stuff. When it comes to playing music on the guitar, piano, whatever and stuff, your emotions can affect the way you play. If you're in a frustrated state, you're likely to make a lot of mistakes or play really fast and get a lot of it wrong. If you're in a positive emotional state, you're likely to play it a little faster, play it a little bit better, more accurate, sort of thing. But those things and stuff I'm going to say are probably more closer to an intermediate skill level of realizing, which is something I'm learning the hard way and stuff, because some days I can pick up my guitar and I can hit every note just right. Other days I pick it up and stuff and I'm way off. And I can sit here and tell you that, so yesterday when I tried it and stuff, it was because I knew I needed to go cut grass and I had to go to work that day. That can put me into an emotional state, especially if you don't like the kind of work you're going to. If you're cold, if you're hot, sort of thing. It can all vary. I think that's going to be it for this video today. I hope you enjoy the videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave them. If you like the video, click the like button. like I said, I do these videos and stuff to inspire people to pick up their musical instruments and keep playing on a daily basis. Plus, I like to continuously show my progress, because learning how to play anything and getting good at it, as far as any kind of instrument is concerned, is something you got to do daily. So if I'm going to do it daily, I might as well go ahead and show you guys that I'm doing it daily. If you don't see a video one day and stuff, it's probably because of the fact I just didn't have time to make one. I had to cut the grass yesterday, I had to cut the grass the day before, and after I got done cutting grass, clean up and head to work. I managed to play a little bit one day, a little bit less the other day. Today I'm off, but I've already gotten up and did the dishes and ate something and ran my errands. So I've got the rest of the day, pretty much the next 12 hours, to play my guitar, and I'll probably spend every bit of it doing it. If I don't, shame on me, because I don't know why I wouldn't. I plan on playing it for the most part of the day and stuff, taking some breaks in between. I've been at this right here for an hour and 16 minutes, and I'm going to take a break right now. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next video.